Hello and welcome to Heart Healing Conversations with Dawn and Janna. So today, Janna and I were having a little conversation before we started, and we were just talking about some different things going on in our lives. So one of the things we want to talk about today is healing and the belief that we can or we can't heal. Because sometimes Janna and I get clients who really want to heal their hearts. They're experiencing a lot of pain from things that have happened in the past and different traumas, but they don't believe they can heal. And I hear this so often that I really wanted to talk about it today because what I learned years ago is our beliefs are so impactful. If whatever we believe, we can manifest. And so that means if we believe that we are going to suffer from a lifetime of pain, then that's what's going to happen because we won't take those steps to actually change the trajectory of our life. But if we believe that we can heal, we can feel better, we can experience more love and abundance in our life, then our life will move in the direction of healing. And so, Janna, let's talk about this today. Tell me what you think about this.
This is one that definitely hits home because I think so many people are struggling and getting so down and out with everything bombarding them in life that it's so easy to get in that bad space and think that that's all that our life is meant to be. I guess I'm just supposed to be stuck. I'm just supposed to forever struggle. I'm just supposed to, somewhere somebody's getting a lesson out of me and I hope it helps them, but I'm just going to be here in this nasty space. And it's so easy to get there and have that downward spiral and not feel like we can come out of it. But truthfully, we do need to find that one way, that one step that we can grasp onto a positive thought, a little glimpse of hope that, you know what, maybe I am supposed to come out of this. Maybe, maybe, just maybe something is meant to be a lesson, but there's still more good on the other side that I'm still yet to learn and enjoy. And too often we just shut our minds down and we won't because we're comfortable in that negative belief of, well, I know how to control this. I can control the chaos and I can't accept any good coming in because my body just won't take that right now. And
Right.
I recognize with so many friends as well as with myself just how hard it is to get out of that negative space and take that chance step of, okay, well, maybe it could be okay. Even just saying that at first was kind of like a cringe, like, oh, I can't even believe that. But it's so powerful to be able to even just take that first step and say, well, maybe there is good, or maybe I do deserve this, to get your mind thinking just a little bit more positive so you have a chance to call in more good things to come to you, more abundance, more happy, healthy energies, just more of everything that's good that you do deserve. Every one of us deserves to have that happy and that good and to heal our hearts from all of that negativity. We all deserve better.
Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, there is, for many of us, comfort in the chaos. When we've grown up in dysfunctional families with things like abuse or addiction or just any type of dysfunction, that chaos becomes normal for us. And while it's not comfortable, lack of chaos is uncomfortable, right? I mean, I remember, living in chaos for years. And then when my life started shifting, I would create my own chaos because I was more comfortable living there. Peace was uncomfortable, which is really sad to say. But that's the space I was in. That's what I was used to. And I thought that I would never be able to experience true joy. I thought there was something wrong with me, and I just accepted it for so long, being in the chaos. not being able to really experience that joy until one day I was just tired. I was tired of my own BS. I was tired of believing that this was all there was to my life. I thought, no, no, no. I see other people thriving. I don't need to just survive. And I'm not going to do this anymore because this is miserable. I don't have the type of relationships I want. I'm not happy, with my job. I'm not happy with my family. Nothing felt good. But I had to make that choice to believe that there was something different for me, for my life. I had to make that choice that I could heal instead of staying stuck where I was. You know, I I would tell my stories over and over and over again and think that somehow that would help me feel better, but it didn't. It actually just perpetuated the pain. It was destructive to my life, but I thought I had to live there. And there were years that I wanted to live there, right? I mean, we all can get into that victim mindset. And for a while, we think that it feels good and we think that that's where we need to stay. But when we start stepping out of that and when we start healing, we realize that there's a different way to live, that we don't need to just survive.
Yeah, and again, with trying to step out of that, it just takes that one thought, that one person really to believe in you and say, "Hey, I believe in you. I know you can do this." And sure, both of us have been on these healing journeys and we've been able to come back out of that. But to say that it's been easy to do that is like appalling. Like it's still hard every day. There's still times when I have to talk myself down, like, okay, if you go this direction, you're going back to where you were and you don't want to be there. So yes, what hurts and what's miserable today, like, why is this fighting me, why is this hurting me? I still need to be able to process this and find a way to think more positive to get myself from continuing down that spiral yet again. It's an everyday healing thing. And so many of us, I think, step into a healing journey thinking that it's literally, okay, well, I'm doing this program or I'm talking to this therapist. This is going to fix my problem. And then I can go on living happily ever after. And I don't have to ever deal with any of this ever again. Like, this isn't about not ever dealing with it. This is being able to manage those thoughts, those feelings, everything that comes through on a daily basis without spiraling so far out of control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the difference for you and me is we believe.
Yes.
We believe that there is healing. We know that we can feel better. And so when we have those triggers or those memories come up, we can choose differently. Like my husband always says, that was the old me, this is the new me. Because it doesn't matter how healed you are, right? I mean, you could be a Buddhist monk sitting in meditation all day. There are still things that are going to bother you. And we have to make a choice every day that we are going to use our new coping mechanisms, not our old. And there's no shame when we fall back into the old ones because it happens to all of us, right? I mean, it can be a very stressful time, and all of a sudden, I find myself creating more chaos. And I'm like, what am I doing? This is uncomfortable, but this is how I used to navigate my life before I did so much healing work. And so at this point in our life, we can take notice. We can reflect and say, why am I stepping back into this? I have different tools. So let's use those different tools to help me move forward versus move backwards. Because when we move back into those old coping mechanisms and those old beliefs, it keeps us stuck again.
I think, in terms of beliefs, too, one of the hardest things to even think about is this my belief? Or is this a belief that was instilled in me from a young age. Like I was taught, because of such a negative space or abusive home or however, you had that, you probably learned that by watching your parents growing up
Mhm.
that everything was happening to them and attacking them and they had bad spaces and so this is how they dealt with things. So I know one of the hardest things I had to tackle personally was figuring out, is my belief system that I don't deserve joy, or is that a belief system that I'm bringing in from somebody else, or not, if not just one, like two, three, four other people's, because it can also be my friends and people I keep around me. It can be the books that I'm reading telling me that everybody is, in a bad space and they don't deserve things.
Mhm.
Changing my belief system or even defining my belief system was a huge thing, saying, this is what I am going to believe. I believe that I do deserve joy. Saying that again sometimes feels icky because it feels like prideful. People will, oh, well, now you're just, being too obnoxious or, thinking you're better than everybody. And it's not about that at all. It's just truly believing that it's okay for me to have a good life and for me to want a good life and to dream and get excited about things again instead of being stuck in your belief system of that's all I deserve.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know you've lost a child, so you can understand this. But there's a perpetual message that goes around in communities where individuals have lost children that you're never going to feel any better than you do today after the loss, that this is a lifetime of pain. And it takes hope away from people. Yes, as you know, there's always going to be sadness. There's always going to be, wondering what your child will be like and missing them. But that deep, deep pain that you experienced on day one doesn't need to be how you feel 10 years later.
Yeah,
But we
I,
perpetuate that belief.
we do. I know at first too, I again followed everybody else's belief system and thinking it was my fault. Like this was a lesson for something I had done wrong. And that's not it at all. Like, how do we know that we're being punished for something like this? And that's our punishment. Like, that's
Right,
such a horrible way to be thinking. But I didn't recognize it as that. I just, that's what I, grew up believing. Oh, well, God only does this because, you must have done something bad and this is to make you listen. So how did you like that slap in the face? That's not it at all. Like, this was just something that was to happen. But had that not happened, yeah, it was sad, but it put me on this trajectory of not only changing my life, but changing my family's life, as well as helping so many other people change their own lives. Like, I would have never done that. I'd have still been stuck back there in a backward cycle had this not happened. So,
right,
sure, every day, I question, today you'd be nine, today, you'd be graduating high school, whatever that I should have been able to experience with him. But on the other side, I also have been able to open up now and feel the things of joy and watch the eyes through my other children, through my family, through actually spending time together and being intentional about doing it and enjoying each other's company. Things that a lot of people overlook today. We're so busy running here and there, and we don't think about actually being intentional and spending times in the relationships that we value. So
mm-hmm.
even though there was sad, there's a lot of good that's come out of it too. And so it's hard, especially at first, to see that good. But again, through building and changing beliefs and mindset, it's been a huge eye opener to come out on the other side and see it as, okay, yeah, it's not all bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've been able to use it as a gift
Mhm.
to help yourself, your family, and other people. And I think there's such a beauty when we can use the circumstances that we go through that are painful in our lives to help other people. But many get stuck in all their grief and don't know how to navigate out of it. And they believe that they're supposed to suffer for the rest of their lives. Like you said, they hear messages from you know, individuals in their life telling them, well, this happened because it's a punishment to you because, and you're absolutely right that things just happen in our lives. We don't know why, but when we can use those to help move ourselves forward, to find our gifts in life, to help others, then it gives those difficult experiences meaning to us versus we're just trying to survive. And so this is a great reminder how we have to believe that there's a bigger picture that we can't see. There's something else going on, and we're meant for more than to just suffer.
Yeah. And I think honestly, I've had people question, well, how do you get to where you can believe in yourself or believe that there is better? And you know, that becomes kind of a personal journey for each one of us because many of us, have Christian faith. Many of us have no faith. But I think in every essence, in things that go on in your life, at some point you feel some sort of a connection, whether it be your energies or, whatever it is that makes you feel like there is something better, follow that. You have to
Mhm.
be able to find something to help change that belief system to the better, whether it be, throwing out, I want to help people. I just, as an example, the other day, I had a friend that, she's younger. She has just grown so much in getting out of drug addiction and starting her family and getting she went to college and got a degree and getting a job and doing so well. And she had a baby a little quicker than planned. So they were in NICU for a few weeks and she was struggling because they were out of work earlier than planned. And so I don't mind helping at all. And so I offered to help, gave a little help, and then we suddenly ended up with two tires that were problematic. And so we called and had the tire guy come out and look at our tires, and we ended up they were completely covered. We didn't have to pay anything for new tires. It was just something simple and putting out that caring energy, helping somebody else out there that it came back full force. And I didn't even think about it until after it happened. I was like, oh wow, look at that come back full. That's awesome. And I think if we can get in that practice of just caring and helping others because we want to, then you start feeling some of that good stuff coming back to you and seeing it. It might be a small little thing at first, but when you recognize it and speak the power of, oh my gosh, look at what just happened. We found $10 bill on the ground. That's amazing. You know,
Mhm.
we're calling in more of that good stuff to come and happen, showing gratitude for, hey, I'm happy something good is happening and more good
Mhm.
comes. Sure, there's still bad stuff that occurs, but like, my kids struggling with allergies at this point, most of the time I would be downward spiraling, like, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? Today, me says, but is it truly happening to me? Like,
Mhm.
he's struggling with allergies. That's a normal part of life, and that's okay. I don't have to downward spiral. I can take this and be like, you know what? This is my win. I get to use my intuition and help as a mom, help him get through this time and move forward. Instead
Mhm.
of that, oh my God, this is so over, life's over. I can't do this. We have so much to learn, not only from each other, but from ourselves, defining that belief system.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think as you were talking, I was thinking about how important it is to surround ourselves with people who believe in us because
Yes.
many individuals grow up in families where they're told, you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're too sensitive, whatever it is that beats us down and, leads us to believing that we're not good enough, that no one will love us, that we're never going to feel better. All these beliefs, right? You can come up with so many. And if we continue surrounding ourselves with people that don't believe in us, then our beliefs aren't going to change.
Mhm.
And I know it's hard when you first start, being around people who tell you, I believe in you. You
Mhm.
deserve better. It's very hard. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm waiting for another shoe to drop because this doesn't seem right. This is out of my comfort zone.
Mhm.
but it's the truth. Like everyone deserves happiness. Everyone deserves to thrive. Nobody needs to suffer in emotional pain. And so allowing people in, it's not easy. It really isn't when you've shut yourself down because you've been hurt so many times. But allow other people to believe in you because they see in you sometimes what you don't see in yourself right now. But with a little bit of love and compassion and kindness, you can start seeing that in you as well. We don't need to believe everything that we were told when we were younger, or whether it was in childhood or whether it was in some adult relationship. We don't need to believe those things. We can know that we're worthy of love, that we're worthy of healing. And so I really want to leave people with that message today that, think about the beliefs that you've held about yourself and about life and about healing, and maybe question them today. How have they kept you stuck? How have they kept you from living the life that you want to live? How have they kept you maybe feeling like a victim? I think it's a legitimate question that helps move all of us forward. And as always, Janna and I are here to support any of you. You can always book a call with us. We love to be supportive and listen, but just don't allow the things you've been told your whole life to keep you small. You deserve more.
100%. We are here to help be the start of that new circle, those people that believe in you.
Mhm.
It might be slow growth, and we might be the first one and the only one helping you for today, but that's okay. We'll help you build that circle and get to where you have more confidence in yourself and you're glowing and calling in so many more people that are here to grow with you.
Absolutely. So we'll leave you with that today. And thank you for listening. You can find all of our contact information in the show notes, and we will talk to you next week. Take care, friends.
Thanks, everyone.